Welcome to Altigen Communications MaxSupervisor training. MaxSupervisor is an optional component of your Max Communications server that provides access to tools for monitoring workgroup and agent activity. By default, MaxSupervisor will run automatically when you log into your computer. Should you need to run it manually, just click on Start, All Programs, scroll down to MaxSupervisor, and select MaxSupervisor. Simply enter the server name or IP address, enter your extension number and password, and select the option to always save password, and then click the Sign In button. After logging into MaxSupervisor, you'll be prompted to select one or more groups to monitor. Simply check the checkbox in the Monitor column next to the group you'd like to monitor. Then click the Password field and enter the workgroup's password. For ease of use, check the Save Password checkbox. If you would like to remove groups from the MaxSupervisor login display, make sure the Show All Rows checkbox is checked. Then click the Hide Row checkbox next to the workgroup that you would like to hide. In this case, we'll hide workgroup 402. And then click Sign In. After a few moments, the MaxSupervisor screen will be displayed. This is the main MaxSupervisor window. At the top you'll find two tabs, the Workgroup View and the Agent View. We'll start with the Workgroup View. Below the tab, you'll see the two workgroups that we logged into, along with the name and the number of calls in queue under the CIQ tab. Currently there is one call in queue for workgroup 400. The next column, the LQT column, displays the longest queue time for the calls in queue. The call that's currently in queue has been there for 1 minute and 43 seconds. The next column is the calls in queue greater than the service level threshold, where the service level is set for each workgroup by your administrator. This column is helpful to determine what queues may need assistance with call handling. The VM tab displays how many new voicemail messages have been left. The rest of these columns display the number of agents in a particular state. First is the total number of agents configured for the group. In this case, we have 4 agents configured for workgroup 400. You have the number of agents logged out, the number of agents logged in, the agents currently idle, the agents busy, in wrap-up, and not ready, as well as do not disturb or forward. Throughout this application, columns can be added or removed by right-clicking. If you'd like to remove the Not Ready tab, simply uncheck the box. To put it back in, just simply recheck the box. If you want to rearrange the order of the columns, just drag them over one another. You can also left-click on any column once to sort in ascending order, and then click again to sort in descending order. A description of each column will be displayed if your cursor is placed over the column name. Next, we'll review the tabs that provide more detailed information about each workgroup. Simply select the workgroup and then highlight the Calls in Queue. The Calls in Queue tab will display all calls that are in the queue for the workgroup you selected. In addition to basic caller information, you can see the ID of the call. This tells you the order that the calls came into the workgroup queue. Queue time will show you how long the call has been in queue, along with the priority of the call and the amount of time that the call has been in this specific priority in the queue. You can also see skill level requirements. Note that the higher priority calls will be sent to agents first. Priority can be set via system configuration or workgroup configuration. Remember, the data on each tab will change based on the group you've selected. At the bottom of this tab, Call Pickup and Call Redirect options are available. Simply select a call from queue and click on the Pickup button to speak to the caller directly, or select the Redirect button if you would like to redirect this call to another extension, to another workgroup, or to an outside number. The priority, pickup, and redirect features can be enabled or disabled by your administrator. Next, we'll look at the Group Statistics tab. This will display daily statistics for the workgroup you've selected. Note that this information is reset every night at midnight. A comprehensive display of workgroup stats is on the left. These are self-explanatory, but more information can be found in the MaxSupervisor help file. You can access this help file by clicking on the icon in the upper right-hand corner. On the right-hand side, you'll notice a graphical display is shown. You can select the call data and interval time used for the graph at the bottom right corner. First, we'll look at workgroup inbound calls with an interval of 15 minutes. You can see the total number of inbound workgroup calls since midnight for the workgroup you originally selected above, along with call distribution over time. At the bottom of the window, you can either export or print the data. The next tab, Group Voicemail, displays all messages in a workgroup's voicemail box. Note that the agent and workgroup voicemail boxes are separate. You cannot view an agent's voicemail from within MaxSupervisor. In addition to the basic information, you'll see the caller's name and number. You can see the progress of the voicemail as it's being played, and you can type a note. Just by double-clicking in the Notes tab. At the bottom of the window, you'll see the voicemail controls. Simply highlight the voicemail if you'd like to play, return the call, delete the voicemail, forward the voicemail, save it, or export the file as a WAV to be played on any personal computer. The Agent Statistic tab shows call details for each agent in the workgroup. Again, this information is reset every night at midnight. Sorting on this tab is handled differently. Just click on the statistic and it rearranges the data for you. Click once for ascending and again for descending. Both workgroup and direct calls are tracked. The statistics tracked are self-explanatory, but more information can be found in the MaxSupervisor help file if needed. The Agent State tab shows individual agent activity for the workgroup you selected above and provides call supervision features. The Login Out column shows the agent login status for this particular group. The agent skill setting, configured by the administrator, is shown in the skill level column. The next column, Record, will display a red icon if the call is currently being recorded. Descriptions for all the other fields can be found in the help file or by hovering your mouse over the column. In addition to agent activity, this tab allows you to monitor an agent's call. Simply highlight the agent you'd like to listen to and click one of the buttons at the bottom. The Listen option will allow you to hear the agent and the caller speaking. Just simply pick up the phone and you're connected to the call. The Barge In option allows you to hear both parties, and both parties can hear you, just like in a conference call. The Coach option will allow you to hear both parties, but only the agent can hear you speak. the caller still hears only the agent. This can be helpful if you need to give a quick instruction to the agent that you don't want the caller to hear. Once you're through monitoring the call, simply hang up the phone or press the stop button. The last feature we'll cover on this tab are seen when you right-click on an agent. If the agent is connected to a call and the call is not currently being recorded by the system, you'll have the option to start a recording. When the recording is complete, it will be saved to the extension's voicemail box. In addition, you can log out or log in one or all agents. All the tabs that we have just discussed can be moved to a separate window by clicking on the tab and dragging it outside the window. Moving the window back is handled by clicking the window and dragging it back to the tabs. Next, we'll look at the Agent View tab at the top of the window. This tab displays the status for all agents for every workgroup you selected to monitor when you first logged into Supervisor. This tab allows the supervisor to quickly monitor the status of many agents across multiple groups. Click on the plus symbol next to the agent's name to expand the display for that agent. You will see all the workgroups that the agent belongs to. Assuming you also logged into these groups when launching Supervisor, right-clicking on the agent's name will allow you to record the conversation if it's not already being recorded by the system. Right-clicking on one of the agent's groups will allow you to log the agent into a single group, into all groups, or log the agent out of all groups. Also, when an agent is selected, call monitoring controls are enabled at the bottom of the window. Finally, we'll look at the MaxSupervisor configuration options. Click on the gear icon on the upper right corner of the window. In the Priority Color tab, you can set the font color for each priority level. This can make identifying high priority calls from queues in the tab much easier. The Queue Alert tab allows for visual and audible alerts when a call has been in queue for a certain amount of time. The Restore Defaults tab can set both the priority colors and queue alerts back to the system defaults. This can be helpful if you've moved multiple tabs outside the MaxSupervisor window and want to display the application in its default state. The Log Service tab is used only by your administrator. This concludes the MaxSupervisor training video. Should you require additional assistance with MaxSupervisor, access the help file by clicking on the question mark icon and then clicking the help button. You can also find the complete MaxSupervisor manual online at www.altigen.com. Simply click on Support and then Latest Product Manuals. Thank you.